Hello everyone. So we wanted to practice the lab, which is for the exchange rate types, and where we can see that how currency reevaluation happens. So I have given the link that you can navigate, and once you click on that, you will be able to see this is the lab what we have for the finance, where it is asking me to use the provider and then import the exchange rates. Yeah, so let me just tell you one thing. So this is something which we are going to practice, but yeah, before that, what you have to understand the configuration which is required for me. The configuration there are given is mainly three. So when you navigate into the currency, which is for the GL, right? What you can see that these are the various forms which is given to us. Where what I can see that I have currencies over here. uh, this will be having the entire list of the currency. Then we have the exchange rate types, like what type do you want to use it. So the same thing has been given over here. Okay, you can see here we have exchange rate type creation. Now what we say that I want to like suppose I have multiple exchange rate type, one I use for the month end and one I use for the maybe for the closing purpose. So what exchange rate type that I want to use it, I will create it first. Like if there is any customization needed to run, I will be able to create my exchange rate types which I'll be going to use it. So what I want to use, I'll create one. Okay, once you create, you will not be having any data within that. It is just the name that which you are creating it, and then within that you will not be having any name. And then you have something where the second step what we have is that you have to enable one of the configuration provider over here. Okay, so suppose I have three, in that one of the provider from the list I will enable, which I'm going to use it. And this provider, once I enable, will bring me all the exchange rate types within my rate type. I'll get all the currency pair that I'm going to use it, right? So for that, I have to actually import the exchange rate over here. So there are three steps which we perform in this particular lab. Okay, so these are the steps which we basically perform here, and post that you will be able to review the transactions and report as well. So let me just take you to the lab where I can see what I have to do. That, as I told you, first I have to create the exchange rate type. So I'll just go there and I'll create the exchange rate type, like which will be ADV exchange. I'm just doing it. I will follow the lab. You guys can also practice at the same time. So I'm just trying to create that. Yeah, I'll just go there and I'll create a new exchange rate type. I don't want to use these. I want to use my own exchange rate type. I'll create a new one. Okay, and I will just provide the entire name in this field, right? And I'll save it. Once I save, then I can go back. One more thing you can see here, that this is a new type. You have just given the name which I'm going to use it. So right, once you save the data, see, you will not have any exchange rates now. It is all blank for you. There's no from currency, like suppose I'm telling USD to INR or any currency. Okay, nothing is there, right? One thing, you can import it, right, which we are going to do, but at the same time, if you want manually also, we can create it here. Hmm. But in this lab, it is all about how do we import it. So we follow the same step and we'll go there. And now you can see over here, I'm going to configure the provider for me, right? So for this, it is telling me to configure the central bank of the Russian Federation. I'll go over here and I'll just go back, and let me just go here. I can just go here and I can activate the provider. See, you do not have any provider as of now, it is all blank. So you can just click on the new, and you can see Central Bank of the Russian Federation, which I will enable it. So this will be the provider who will provide me all the exchange rate to me. So till now what we have done, that you have enabled it, right? You are yet to bring the exchange rate from there. That is the third step that which we have it. Yeah, so I will just go back again, and what it says that in the third, you are supposed to bring those import the exchange rate from the provider. So I will go into the import, and I will bring those exchange rate. So again, I'll go back here and I'll click on import currency exchange rates. And once I click on this, I will just, this is the exchange rate which we have created it, if you remember. So I'm going to bring the exchange rate in this, right? Because it was blank, which you have seen it, right? And I, who is my provider? So if you remember, I mean, just now we have done with type creation and the provider, we have activated it, and these all are done and import as on today, right? And I can just click on the OK. So once it is done, you can see this is a processing, right, which takes some time. And once see, you can see over here, once it is done, this will give you all the exchange rate, right? So this is how the first I mean the second lab it will be done. Okay, so once you want to perform the lab, you will be able to do this. Yeah, and I can see the notification in the system. You can see here operation completed, and there are 42 exchange rate which has been imported, right? You can see here JDR to RUB. You can see here VND to RUB USD. Let me just go there and see the exchange rate which we have imported it. And I can see here, if you remember in the previous, when we went there, we did not have any exchange rate. Now when I go, what I can see that there are so many exchange rate, right? Above 40 has been imported. What you can see here, right? You can see over here. What I was saying with that, you can also create it, right? So suppose I have one of the exchange rate which has come from the provider. I also want to bring one more no rate. I will just go ahead and I will be able to create one of the another exchange rate. So this is another method what we have it, okay? And this I can just remove as of now, and I will just save it. Okay, so that is how you bring it. Now what happens with this, that you can get to know what I was telling you, that we are done with all the steps. Once it is done, when you run the forex revaluation, right, or when you post a transaction, right, you will be having the data available in the currency that which you have activated. At the same time, if I want to generate the report financial statement, I will be able to see the report in those currency as well. So to see that, you can go here in review and transactions, and you can see that, see, remember one more thing, accounting currency can also be referred as company or the ledger currency, okay? And this is accounting currency which I told you is a mandatory, which we have to do it. So when I bring the report, I can see that amount in transaction currency, amount in reporting currency, you can see here, you can see here, right? And this is an amount in national currency which remains the same. So your accounting currency, you can see here your reporting currency. In this scenario, we do not have the multi-currency function, we just have the single currency. So this is what I was telling you, not necessary that I will follow the multi-currency function. I can go just with the one currency, and my one currency could be my reporting or an accounting currency, whatever. I'm not going with multi-currency function. Okay, so once you have a multi-currency function, you will be having the no the report or the transaction report or the financial report will be available for you to see in multi-currency. And yeah, by this we are done with the currency configuration training. Yeah, thank you.